Good morning, everyone. We're now about 3.5 weeks maybe into this in a more, active kind of way in terms of how it's affected our lives. And certainly for the past 2 weeks, most people have been experiencing some kind of version of being at home and feeling the effects of containment and the ways it's really affecting our social interactions, our physical interactions with people more than our social interactions, because of course, probably almost everyone is reaching out more to people socially through, through all this media that we have the bounty at this point to have access to. But not so much physical connection, unless, of course, you live in a family and you live with people where there's lots of wonderful touch and connection, then you're still getting that. I have been thinking about what to focus on this morning, and the thing that really stands out to me is that the shock of what we're experiencing is maybe shifting more than it's gone. I think there's an initial shock that this is going to affect our lives as much as it has. And there are aftershocks, and some of them, like in an earthquake, some of them aren't particularly intense, and some of them can be. And I think the aftershocks that are more intense are the ones where the healthcare systems are so underprepared for all kinds of reasons. Or maybe that's not fair. Maybe nobody could be quite prepared for something like this. So there's not enough, there's not enough beds, not enough masks, not enough ventilators. And that situation seems to be progressing, from the large cities on the coast to the large cities inland now. And so, that's a kind of aftershock. I think people who get diagnosed or know somebody who get diagnosed or even live near people who have gotten diagnosed, those are aftershocks as well regarding health. And then there are all these aftershocks that also are regarding our financial safety and well-being. And people's mental health, I think, certainly not everybody, but we have so much added stress in a number of different forms. It may not be so much more stress in terms of what we have to do in our lives. Many people have a lot more time right now, and hopefully have the energy and the wherewithal to use it to increase their own creativity and to be in a joyful, loving space, to be learning something they hadn't had the opportunity to learn before, catch up on things that they were behind on. Not everybody will be like that, because I think some people are kind of knocked down by at least the underlying stress of it. And so many people might be feeling not all that productive, which we've seen some little hints of. You might be feeling kind of shut down, like you don't really have the desire to do those things. So those are some of the subtle ways that this is affecting us, or affecting us from the subtle levels. And then there are all the people whose financial safety and feeling of physical survival is really challenged right now. And that's a whole other level of aftershocks from this. So 3.5 weeks into it, I think part of what we're beginning to recognize is that it takes endurance, kind of like a cross-country race, maybe, in a way. I mean, it's more than just endurance. But when we have an ongoing situation that we don't really have a lot of control over, one of the real strengths for us in that is to be in bring ourselves to peace, to be in the moment. Because one of the things I think that's causing people the most amount of stress outside of literal experiences in their lives is people's tendency to look into the future and worry. You know, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen in an hour? What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen to the world? Um, and any one of those thoughts, or any of the thousands that are related to it, add additional stress to our body. So I think one of the most important skills right now is that ability to be aware that that's what's happening inside of us. Those are the thoughts that are going on, and to bring ourselves back to the moment. Lots of people have lots of good ideas for how to do that, how to orient yourself to the moment. Of course, you know, tapping is the thing. And in some ways I think that I do, or the techniques that are part of energy psychology, but also that feeling, like feeling in your body, noticing what's in your body, and developing that capacity to bring yourself into your body, into the comfort of your body, into the comfort of being at home within. And that brings us peace, brings us really profound peace. And from there, the access that we can have to the greater peace is much more profound. So I just want to reiterate that I think that that's one of the most important skills, however you do it, is to bring yourself back to the moment, to watch when you are getting worried about the future, and to interrupt your own process. That will save you more energy than just about anything. And then you can direct that energy towards things that you want to do. You can direct that energy towards having fun, towards, again, being loving, you know, all the things I was saying before, and enjoying yourself, enjoying life, loving life, and the beauty of life, and all the people, the wonderful, wonderful people that are in your life, no matter how closely or how distantly. It's a nice time to stop for a moment and feel love for the whole of the world right now. So, going to shift from going to feeling love for the whole of the world to doing some tapping. And this time it's going to be really pretty basic tapping. People are experiencing so much and dealing with so many different things, and having so many negative, scary, limiting beliefs, that there's no way that I feel like I could tune in and capture, you know, the central ones that are happening right now. So what I'm going to offer is a general tapping where you can, and I'm going to give you a little moment to really tap in yourself to what it is that is of biggest concern to you, which is causing the most stress to you right now. And then you will be tapping on that. Okay. So the way I want to help move you into this, into clarity and awareness about this, is to invite you to begin to pay attention to your body, what you're really feeling in your body. And one of the first things we can do is to begin to think about the bottoms of our feet. Actually try and feel the bottoms of our feet. That drops us into our body just about faster than anything else that we can do. Okay. So as we begin to feel the bottoms of our feet, we also begin to move into conscious breathing. Huge difference between just unconscious breathing and conscious breathing. And as soon as we focus on our breath consciously, we begin to relax. We begin to center. So that's already happening as you're doing this. So breathing in through your nose. And if you've done this with me much, you know that I really encourage people to do a waterfall breath. Just drop that breath out through your mouth. Because then you can feel, I mean, you can see it in me, and you can feel the release with every out breath. So breathe in and drop it out. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. as I'm doing. And check in with yourself and see where you might notice any tension in your body. Probably going to be tense around your chest, your upper chest, your back, your neck, your shoulders, into your jaws. Whenever our breathing is constricted, which it is when we're worried or anxious or not centered, then all that those are the areas where we are most affected by that constriction in our breathing. And so notice what you notice there, up into your head, your eyes. You may not know, I didn't know until recently, so probably a lot of people don't know this, that there's a reaction from trauma that is called hypervigilance, which most of us know about. What I didn't know was that it changes, hypervigilance in the nervous system changes the function of our eyes and of our ears. And so we start looking, our peripheral vision expands so we can look for threat. Our hearing changes so we can hear threat. So you might just know that that's happening as you're going through the scan of your body. Many people are going to be experiencing stomach issues and perhaps somewhat upset with their stomachs now. Digestive issues because it's all related. Stress affects the digestion. Digestion affects our psychology, our nervous system. Notice any tension in your legs, your calves. When we're stressed, our calves are always wound really tightly, kind of really wound, right? So as we relax, we unwind our muscles wherever they are, but especially in the calves, it's good to notice. So feeling what you notice of the tension in your body. And I know as I'm doing this, two things are happening. You're becoming more aware of the tension, and the tension's also soothing because of my voice and because of how I'm asking you to do this. So it's a mixed bag, maybe in a really positive way to have a mixed bag. So anyway, so we're a little more tuned in, a little more aware. One other thing I want to say is that I believe that the pervasiveness of the effects of the change in life from what we're doing to try and protect ourselves and each other from this virus is having effects at levels we're not aware of. So we're carrying tension even though we're not aware of it. So even though you've tuned in, I want you to know that there's likely more tension than you're even knowing. And it's good to know that consciously because that actually helps us to release more of that unconscious tension. Okay. And now I want to ask you to tune into the situations that you're experiencing, the ways this is particularly affecting your life right now, yesterday, today, this morning, today. Ways it's affecting the people's lives who are most important to you, most connected to you, whose reactions affect you the most. What are the beliefs that you're having, the worries, the concerns? I talked with someone yesterday at the mustard seed, somebody who worked there, and he said, most people aren't talking to me as they go through now. And it's really nice to stop and talk to people or have people stop and talk to me. And it just made me think that in our discomfort with that physical space, we're forgetting that we can cross that physical space with language and with eye contact and with smiles. And it's another level at which we're all being affected. So I mentioned some concerns earlier: financial well-being, money, food, health. People who have already high levels of stress or higher levels of anxiety are experiencing an increase in that. And so even just that experience of anxiety within. Check in with for yourself. What is it that's coming up? Negative beliefs. And so notice the activation in your body, the stress, the upsetness level, and how upsetting it is to you emotionally, whether it's fear, anger, frustration, anxiety, some panic you might be experiencing at times. And from 0 to 10, with 10 being the most intense, the most uncomfortable, the most distressed, see where you are now. Good. I'm just going to do 2 rounds, and know before I go into the end of this that you can repeat these. Going 2 rounds will help you bring down the intensity level. Repeating them, like after you go through those 2 rounds, checking in with yourself and seeing what you're noticing about what's still there, and then going 2 rounds again with it and doing it 2, 3, 4 times. Do it until you feel significantly better and you feel like, that's good. I feel good now. Okay. All right. All right. So here we go. Take out my glasses. So I start here. I know other people do it differently, but you do it however you want. But here at the sore spots, these neurolymphatics, even though I have all this different stress and worry and upset and discomfort about my life, my well-being now, and about the well-being of those I love and the well-being of the world, I choose to trust that the more I can bring myself to peace and to trust, to love and joy, the better I and everyone I love will be, no matter what. So even though I'm feeling all this stress and anxiety, worry, agitation, maybe frustration, and even anger, I choose to trust that bringing myself to peace and love and joy will make all things better for me, for everyone I love, and for the whole world. Okay. And then I like to come to the top of your head, my head, and hold here as in a prayer, setting an intention, although people usually don't pray this way, of course. For me, this accesses the nervous system and the field. I just feel it, which is probably one of the reasons why I do this here. And I ask you to kind of reverse the experience of, we often feel like we're solid, we're solid beings, we're 3-dimensional solid beings, and we're moving through space, right? Space is nothing, we just move through this nothingness. Well, as we know from science that everything is 99.9999999% space. And as I also believe from people who are very wise about all this, that this space is filled with energy, right? With light, with love, with unconditional love, with the unconditional consciousness, like the pure consciousness of the universe. And so we can reverse our experience and feel ourselves to be more like space and to feel that light, that love. I've been describing it like this white, golden white light, and it could be whatever color. I'm for sure it's whatever color comes to you. But feeling that color, feeling the energy, the sparklingness, the hum, the vibration of that energy, and feeling ourselves as less solid, moving through that space, knowing that we are immersed, we move through energy, we are energy, and we are constantly moving through, immersed within it, which means we are constantly immersed in love and light. And as we open ourselves up, we feel that connection and we heal. And if we ask for help and assistance, which is always there waiting for us, it comes because it's there. The asking opens us. Okay, enough words. On the hairs of your eyebrows, all this tension, this worry, all the ways that this is affecting my life and everybody's life I know and love. All the stress of this COVID life, this portal that we're in, that it contains everything in more intense manifestations. The fear and the worry and the angst and the anger is intensified. The light is intensified. People's ability to reach out and their willingness to reach out and connect, our willingness to reach out and connect and contribute is much more intensified. You know, it's a storm of change that we can go through with more peace. And the more we release the storm that's inside in healthy ways, in ways that don't negatively affect others, we don't take it out on others. We don't act it out on others. We don't shut down from others. We don't act our frustrations out with others. We release it. We release it. We do the hard work to release it, whether we call it shadow, whether we call it the unhealed past, whether we're focusing just on the tension in our body. When we release it in healthy ways, when we do that hard work to go inside and let it go, we transform how we are with the people in our lives and with ourselves. So that's what we're doing, the hard work. We're getting to peace and love. We're doing the hard work with courage and with strength, not bypassing anything here. I think one of the things the virus is doing is teaching us that bypassing isn't going to work. So maybe it's part of the silver lining. And on the sides of your ribs, all this discomfort, all this heaviness, all this weight, all this worry, from this COVID life, I like to call it. All the ways this COVID life is affecting me. All the concerns I have for our lives from this COVID life, from this COVID portal. That's what I'll call it. All the ways this COVID portal is disrupting life. And then the backside of your middle finger. Sorry, these are in the corner of the nails. I went to them automatically. It didn't tell you what I was doing. All the ways this COVID light, this COVID portal is affecting us. Good. Back to the inside of your little finger, your baby finger. All the ways this COVID life is affecting me. All the ways this COVID life is affecting me. Take nice deep breath, nice waterfall breath again. Just let it go. Loosen those shoulders up and your neck up again. Let it go. Okay. This next part, I'm going to start back up here, is a variation I got from my friend Meryl Beck, who's been doing something like this for a long time, but it really is a more semantic way to connect acupressure with what we're doing in terms of feelings and emotions. So starting up here, releasing all this charge. Again, charge is my word for upset, for disturbance. Releasing all this charge from throughout the whole of my nervous system. Eyebrows. Releasing all the sadness and the sorrow from this COVID portal and how it's affecting my life, our lives. On the side of your eyes, in the temples, releasing all the rage and fury, all the powerlessness, helplessness that I'm feeling from this COVID portal. Releasing all the dread and the worry, releasing all the fear, all the panic, all the anxiety, all the apprehension from this COVID portal and how it's affecting my life. Releasing any self-consciousness that I might be feeling, any nervousness and awkwardness that I might be feeling now from this COVID portal. Releasing any shame that I might be feeling for any reason from this COVID portal. Maybe somehow it's bringing up shame from the past. Releasing any and all shame that I can access right now. It's the heaviest of all emotions and the most buried, has the most negative impact on us. Collarbones. Releasing all the discouragement, any hopelessness, despair. On the sides, releasing all judgment, all polarizing energy, all judgment towards ourselves, towards anyone, even towards the virus, right? It's being in that in-between place, that middle ground of acceptance, not aversion, not attachment, but peace. Letting go of guilt. Any guilt might be feeling for not keeping other people safe, not keeping yourself safe enough. Any guilt you might be feeling for how you've been treating yourself, treating others. One of the things I haven't said is that when our anxiety and stress levels rise, Many people also, as we all know, I think, have a tendency to be really hard on themselves, to say really mean things to themselves. And it's really self-abuse. And so any ways you might be abusing yourself or being verbally abusive to others or emotionally because you got triggered and you acted out anger and fear. Using this as an opportunity to release that so that there's not so much anger and fear to act out, and it becomes easier and easier to be the person that you want to be the person you are in the truth of yourself without the effects of woundings, without the effects of distortions, distorted ways we've been programmed in our lives. Wrists, releasing all the frustration, anger, any resentment, all the irritation. A lot of people feeling a lot more irritation, like just physical irritation, aggravation, aversion, intolerance, letting them go. Letting it all go. Coming back up here. A couple nice deep breaths. Checking in with yourself to see how you're feeling now. And choosing peace for yourself, for others, and for the world. Choosing love for yourself, for others, and for the world. Choosing joy for yourself, for others, for the world. Choosing health for yourself, and wishing health for others and the world. And choosing wisdom, choosing resilience for ourselves and others and the world. Choosing courage, take a nice deep breath. Oh, thank you. I hope that you feel better, feel all those things I just mentioned as a result of spending this time here with me. I'm really grateful to all of you. I'm really grateful to everyone I love, grateful to Spirit, to the world, to the sun, the earth. And I want you to know that I love you. I always raise that one eyebrow when I do that. And I want you to know, again, that I'm starting a group this Tuesday at 6 is the first time. It's going to be a Zoom group. I will have details later up today here on Facebook or wherever it is you're tuning in to this video. I'm asking for love donations so that people who are comfortable can share from that space, and people who are struggling can share their love. Okay? Be well, everyone, and I will be back again Wednesday with another video, and hopefully it will be live streaming as whenever I can get all those pieces, if I can get those pieces worked out. All right? Okay. Be well. Have a great day. Thanks.